And here we are. Welcome to Tweed Talk.
We look orange.
Not that loud. A little bit orange. Must be the.
And that. No.
Up. Okay.
We're having technical issues.
And sorry?
Let's use some outdoor lighting, the outside lighting. Our guests coming in will absolutely know that we always love natural lighting for shoots, don't we?
Okay.
Look at that.
There we go.
We look like normal people now.
All right. So here we are. No class today. I didn't have any class today. I went to the gym and worked out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good. I feel good. We are waiting. So what happened this weekend? We've had a busy weekend.
We did.
Oh, you looked at me like you forgot.
This weekend is like, it was crazy. So I'm like, what did we do this weekend?
You couldn't tell? Well, I give you an idea.
It was crazy.
Look at this.
Oh, look at the baby.
Yes, Layla graduated.
Yep.
She's moving out, right? Oh no?
Well, no, Angelica's still here.
Oh, Angelica's here.
And she's, finishing her last year of University of Albany.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be doing that remotely. So, but she's 24. She hasn't left yet, so,
Yeah.
It doesn't really spell.
So Layla's going to leave by 30.
Oh,
so yeah, it was a busy weekend, but I truly enjoyed myself this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I did something crazy, but I had to do it.
Uh-huh.
On the 18th, on June 18th, I had foot surgery.
Right.
And I kept saying to myself, I kept thinking that the surgery was the end of June. I kept saying the end of June, the end of June. And then I happened to look at my calendar and I'm like, wow, my surgery's on the 18th. So I had to go for a pre-test. I had to go for a COVID test, and I had to go for this, go for that. And I had to see my regular doctor, then see the foot doctor. And in my mind, it made sense to do it.
It was crazy.
The day after prom.
Mm-hmm.
7 days before graduation.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 days before, we had exhibition every day. We had every day in the gym.
I had to carry you a couple of times.
You had to carry me, and I don't know why, but here's what I was thinking. I said to myself, if I don't do this now, when July hits, and when we bring Dario in, he will completely understand. When July hits, and the summer is booming in the Hudson Valley as far as films are concerned, I wouldn't be able to film because I'm on crutches for 2 weeks. So I was like, I have to get this done. I had filmed the movie before, had that completely done, and then the other movies I was doing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fit this in. And then when July hits, and then I know I had something booked for August, and I said I have to be back on my feet by then. So I'm getting it done. I'm not gonna reschedule it. So,
and
that's
there
the
you
picture that we posted.
Right.
And so I'm hobbling around graduation.
Hopping around.
Yeah, and they kindly gave us a wheelchair because they
felt sorry for us. I'm sorry that I didn't take a picture of that, but I did not take a picture of you in the wheelchair.
You have a picture of me in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It was on a movie set.
In a movie set. not the one yesterday.
It was a Christmas film.
I've been getting bit by these mosquitoes.
Yeah, they like the dark chocolate. Who is here watching? Mitzi Westbrook. She says, hi, I watch all from Georgia. It's Mitzi. I love Tweed Talk.
Mitzi.
And Mitzi, I'm sorry, but I felt like I needed to go into a southern accent.
Yeah, the last audition that you did, you went into a southern accent, and I just knew you were gonna get that part. It was like a southern. When you said, honey, listen to this, and then you went and I just didn't say anything because it was perfect. Yeah. Do you dare?
Do I dare? A ballot, a blank ballot.
Well, listen.
Who else is here? Helen. Congratulations to the little one. Thank you.
I think she's in Florida now.
Mitzi says we know her. Mitzi, what? Mitzi, I can't really see your
let me
picture.
see. Let me put my glasses on.
Helen, yes, I'm okay. I'm in good spirits. I did have a rough couple days, but I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm actually supposed to be off crutches, stitches out on Friday. So I'm gonna make sure this guy whips me in the shape so I can get off these crutches.
Oh, that's right. She tried to work on it. I can't say that just in case your doctor is watching. But she tried to walk on her foot yesterday. I feel it. So listen, I'm going to bring him on because there's a couple of things that I, want to ask. Yeah. And there's a couple of things I want to show.
Dario Saraceno is our good friend. We met him on a film set near you several years ago. And we kind of would just get booked on the same films and hang out in Holding and shoot the breeze and eat and laugh and eat. And it's a really tight-knit community of film actors in the Hudson Valley. And we absolutely love and adore each other. We had Lorenzo Baronilla on 2 weeks ago. So, when we see each other, it's like family. It's all love. We hung out at the Woodstock Film Festival, and we had a blast. We need to do that again.
Then we went and ate.
We went and ate, yeah.
Okay, so
we're going to bring him in because we're going to promote his new music video that just dropped like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Hey, Dario.
Hey, how are you?
I am super good. How you doing?
I'm a little sweaty. It's a little
Me too.
Pedro's sweating too.
I need makeup or it's just sweaty here right now.
It's the head because Pedro's head is sweating too.
Oh, yeah, we have the hair on.
Let me get
we got the same barber.
The same barber. Hi, Daryl.
Hello.
Dario, how have you been?
Well, just pretty much like everyone else going through this craziness, but there were good things that came out of this. So I think everyone has almost like the same story that I've been talking to. First, it was a whole bunch of confusion. And then I think a lot of people started going like, okay, what am I going to do about this?
Right.
And for me, the acting, of course, like everybody, very few people were working. So I'm always writing music, but since I had more time than expected, I ended up writing like 20-some songs.
Wow.
Yeah, during that period. And just to backtrack a little bit, before the coronavirus hit, I was working on a dance troupe music that I wanted to do, a composition that I visualized dancers doing this piece. And I had started it, and then, of course, the coronavirus hit, so it was impossible to record it. So I recorded those 20 songs. So that was your little backstory there. And then I said I had a collection of songs. So I went to a friend's studio not far from me, Eric Dalton. And I wanted to just do that piece, just because I wanted to really see, because it goes through lots of movements. It's like a 7-minute song, composition, I should say. And that came out really well. And I've got these wonderful players on there, and it came out exactly as I visualized it. And so I was really, really happy about it. And we just got along, especially with the engineer. That's really important factor in the studio, is having an engineer that really understands you, that can capture the sound. Because a lot of time, it needs to be like this and like that. With a lot of, it needs to sound woody, or it needs to sound bright, and they just understand all the adjectives you kind of throw. Well, and sometimes to other people it might seem like you're not making any sense whatsoever, but he understood it and captured it really well. And then I was like, oh, I got all these other songs. So I kept going back. And that's how Optic Nerve came about. And, so then it started with doing that, and that piece is included on the album. So that's called Deities of Splendor. And That was a lot of fun. I got reacquainted because now, of course, you can do recordings. You know, I can capture all that. They don't have to be at the studio. Some of my friends that I worked with in West Virginia when I first got out of Berklee College of Music. So I said, 2 keyboard players I really loved, and they came on board. And actually, Nat now lives in Memphis. So I got to get reacquainted with him and Jamie Peck, who still lives in the Ohio Valley. So they were on board. I had some local people, Robert Kopech, Adam Seibel, and then I had these world-renowned musicians, which I was so thankful to work with. I worked with Tony Levin and Jerry Marotta that worked with Peter Gabriel. Tony still works with Peter Gabriel, and he's with King Crimson, and also Trey Gunn, who works with King Crimson. And it was just the right team at the right time. Everything was a place. You know how it's like being on set too, right? When you have everything just
exactly
works.
that chemistry. You need that chemistry. I love how now, since it's sort of like the coronavirus forced us to be more creative than we actually were. Because you talk about recording with people that were on this side of the country here. I mean, I did like a cam jam type thing, and we just all sent in our section of the music that we recorded.
From the bedroom.
Yeah, it was in the bedroom, and I sent it in, and then we took it, spiced it all together, blah 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 blah, and synced it. It's so amazing, and I can appreciate what you're talking about as far as working with people that aren't in the same room as you.
Right. And even when we were, of course, you know, we did have all the precautionary stuff, so we made it. I think everyone just stepped up, you know, and said, "All right, we'll deal with the situation." I think that's where, you know, comes in for a lot of people, you know, just saying, let's step up. And we have our thing, but, you know, all the EMS workers, the people in the medical field, so if they could step up, we could do our part too. And, you know, everybody just had to get on board and say, hey, we can do, you know, we'll become winners again, you know, and we'll deal with the situation, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep watching.
We're gonna pause for a commercial break.
For a commercial break.
Yes.
What is it?
You know, you really should stop avoiding her.
Oh, I'm not avoiding her. It's just with her schedules and all. It's just, you know, but it's great to hear she's doing well. Here.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, Emily!
Okay, you surprised me. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
So here's the funny thing. Dario, literally 2 hours ago, I'm laying on the floor relaxing, and he's watching. We started watching this Hallmark movie, and I don't know how it came up. I'm like, I said something about. I was like, remember when me and Dario we were in that, like the singing quartet in that Hallmark movie or Lifetime?
Yeah.
Movie? Yeah. He was like, I think I still have it. No lie, he still had it on the DVR.
Okay.
Like he just never deleted it, and so he managed to get it and put it in there, and I'm like, that's hysterical. So funny.
I remember how funny it was filming that, because you know, I think it was I was added to that at the last minute because I had to try to fit into that. I think the person that was supposed to do that, yes. And I had to fit into his costume. I think there had to be a slight alteration real quick.
Yeah, because he was smaller than you. I remember that.
Yeah, they had to you know, because I'm pretty broad wide top, but I squeezed into that. And then I remember just us rehearsing and wondering like, sing here? Thank goodness we all knew how to sing.
I know. And you know what's funny? I didn't realize that you sang until that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know any of us. So I'm thinking, he picked 4 actors. I'm like, do any of us, you know, because I knew I sang, but I didn't know you sang, and I didn't know the other two. So it was really fun. Like, I hope this works out.
We didn't want to look crazy, so
that was funny.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. Well, thank you for showing that blast from the past.
I gotta get that in there. I gotta get it in there.
Yeah.
We don't really have commercials.
Oh yeah, I thought we were gonna see Geico or something.
No. So tell me, which came first, the acting or the music?
Oh, the music. Yeah, definitely the music. I just love music from the get-go. A little backstory again. I was born in Italy, and then I moved to London. And by the time I got to London, there were these 4 musicians made up the Beatles. The Beatles were really going big at that time. Yeah, who? Yeah, that the Fab Four. And I would be, it was Beatlemania, and I'm in London, so even bigger.
Right.
And I remember just hearing them all the time. And then I think I begged and pleaded to get the 45 by the Beatles. And that single 45 probably played 20 times a day, probably driving everyone insane.
Wow.
But that was it for me. I just got hooked on the sound. And then eventually, then we moved to the Bronx. And there was this guy that was playing guitar, outside, and I was like, yeah, that's John Lennon plays that. I was a big John Lennon fan. And it was this Spanish guitar, and he goes, well, I'm getting rid of it. I don't really want to play this,
Wow.
And he says, you can buy it, do you want to buy it? I said, sure. I think it was like $10. I think I still have it somewhere here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a harmony guitar. It was a harmony. I still remember everything. But
wow.
Then I also remember, I think everybody has this story. I went for my guitar lesson. The teacher just looked at that guitar neck, and the strings were really hot, almost very difficult to play.
Uh-huh.
It was the only thing I had. So, and that was it. Then that's started playing that, and then eventually, I came up here to the Hudson Valley. So I actually dropped the guitar for a while because I had a really good teacher to start, but then I guess the teaching schedule for him didn't work out where I could fit in, and he sent me to this other guy, and he was not so much a nice teacher. So he really discouraged me, and I said, well, maybe I should just quit. So I did. And then when I came up here, and a friend of mine, his mom knew this guitar teacher. He goes, you should just take guitar lessons again. If you really love it, why don't you start playing again? So I did. And Mr. Brown, he was a correction officer, and he turned me on to this thing called jazz.
Oh, okay.
And I was a rock and roll. So at that point, I am 15, 16. So I was a big Zeppelin guy. Of course, the Beatles always stayed with me. But then he started playing jazz for me. And I'm like, I wasn't really, I was a rock guy. But he was a great teacher. And what he would do is on Saturdays, he had this cool hit pad, just like a typical jazz guy would have. He had the great pad, and he had this thing called a 4-track, a reel-to-reel 4-track. And he would invite his students, and we would have a recording session. So I would have my piece of music, the drummer would have his thing, and we would record. He had the mics, and I was like, wow, what is that? It's like, and then when we heard it back, so that was it for me. Oh my goodness, we recorded something, we got to hear it back, and we sounded pretty good, for these young guys. Mm-hmm. He was, arranging it and directing us. And then years later, I ended up buying that 4-track from him because he was going on to bigger and better things. So I had that in the other room. I still had that reel-to-reel, which I'll probably never, ever get rid of because I became immediately addicted to recording. Knowing that I can play something, arrange something, a chord chart, a lead sheet, and then I can hear it back and then, work on it and, develop it even more. And I can go back, and at that point, we had 4 tracks. And that was it for me. And even at that point, when a lot of people wanted to get into bands and do copy music, I went right away to writing original music.
Composing.
I did that to go into a concert bands because, you know, that's where the money was. It was good to experience to do. So I played in wedding bands and stuff like that. But after that, it was all about writing original music. And I encourage that with my students as well, like immediately. Even if you don't want to do it, just try it at least once, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you come to teaching in the Hudson Valley? Because I know you're teaching, because I remember you were telling me about that before.
Yeah, I did it like, you know, again, thanks to Mr. Brown's guitar instruction. He was such a good teacher that I did really kind of quickly. And so by the time I think I was a senior in high school, we had a retailing shop there. And the teacher that ran that, it's so funny because he had a son named Dario.
Oh.
So I ended up, he goes, "Hey, Dario, would you mind teaching my son Dario guitar?" And I was like, well, I never did that before, you know, but I felt pretty confident. And so I started giving him lessons. And I was also working at a restaurant then. I was a waiter. And I met, obviously, when you're a waiter, you meet a lot of people in the restaurant. Yeah. And that was it. You know, a lot of the waitresses says, "Oh, my," you know, and guitar was really big back then. You know, everybody wanted to play guitar. And slowly but surely, I ended up having like 7 students. And I was thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
I really love teaching. I still do. It's my favorite, you know, my top 5 things to do is teaching is, I love it. Just absolutely love teaching. And then from there, I decided I wanted to go to the Berklee College of Music. Mm-hmm. So, and that was frightening because,
yeah,
you know, just getting the catalog and the prerequisites of what was to happen, and, you know, Berklee College of Music, you know, it's like all the people that went there, and it was a little frightening. And I ended up going for the summer. I took that like an 8-week course, 6-week course, and was able to get credit. You get credit for that. And then what happened was I was supposed to go back. I did get accepted, but, you know, they didn't have a dorm room for me. The last minute, they said, "Well, we don't have room for you." Well, I said, I can't go to Boston without having, you know, a place. You can't find an apartment really that quick. So I just didn't go for several years. So I didn't go back to Berklee until I was like 24. So, but in the meantime, I had gone to West Virginia, and my brother was out there, the director of Wheeling College. And so there were gigs there, and I just wanted to change of pace. And but then after that, I said, yeah, I got to go back to Berklee. You know, but it was good that I got my feet wet. So we were playing a lot in West Virginia. They really do love their music there. So I was playing 4 or 5 nights a week and still teaching. Mm-hmm. And but then I decided to go back to Berklee and said, let me get my degree. You know, let me really get myself together, because I was also starting to develop more sounds in my head of what I wanted to achieve, and I knew Berklee would be the place that I would get that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay, so speaking of sound in your head, I am going to play your video that you released last week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Please do.
as we were meant to be. So now sing along with me, so now sing along with me, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is the moment, we live for this moment, oh rush this moment, I get to spend with you. Oh!
That is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And
Come on, you know.
I'm showing another comment. So Helen Rodriguez, she says, yes, love the solo. Killed it. So I have to say this, Dario.
Yes.
You have this very, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Am I in your way?
You forgot about Pedro.
I know, unassuming demeanor about you. You're very mellow and chill. And then it's like you flip the script, you got these dark sunglasses on, and you're shredding the electric guitar.
Well, because you met me as an actor first. I don't think we even discussed that when we first met. You know, I think we once we got to know each other on set, then during all those holding times, we engage in lots of conversation.
Sure.
But yeah, that's Dario.
Yes.
Daryl Brackett says that was great. My kind of music. Maybe a hint of Pink Floyd.
Could be. Wasn't intentional, but yeah. I mean, I love Pink Floyd as well. I love all of the British bands. I'm definitely tilted towards that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Queen, Zeppelin, all that. I mean, of course, there's wonderful American bands as well. But during that British invasion and after that, the 70s and all that stuff was a big influence on my life.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this?
I see all the Beatle bass.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Are we going to jam now?
This bass is just for show now.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what we call the antique.
Yeah. I had it for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, great. Is that so? I didn't even know you played bass. Do you play bass?
A little bit.
Okay.
More guitar and piano.
Oh, okay, great.
I could do some blues on the bass.
Well, blues is always good, right? That's a universal language.
I love that.
The blues.
That one too.
So, Dario, tell our viewers how they can pick up the single or the album. Tell them how to pick up the album, because we want you guys to pick up the album.
Yeah, well, you can really get it almost everywhere, like CD Baby, Bandcamp. So if you Google Dario and the Clear, Optic Nerve, it will come up probably 30 different sites. Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. So wherever you buy your music, I'm sure I'll be there.
Right. Make sure that when you go on iTunes that you put Dario the Clear.
And the Clear, yeah.
And the Clear, yeah. Otherwise, Dario Saraceno, there's somebody else.
There's a
I don't use my last name, so for the band that would just take up too much on the marquee there. No, so just Dario.
Yeah.
So just Dario Clear. Yeah, I know. I mean, this is my 6th album, so there's other material as well.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you posted something a while ago, and I'm like, okay, this is not just like a weekend musician. He's.
Oh no, this has been going on for a while now. Actually, I believe the first album I did before I became Dario Nuclear was just titled Dario, and the name of that is Dario Porcelain Angel, and I believe this year is its 20th anniversary.
Wow!
So that was my first, and that was that's how I met with the guys in West Virginia, because I was in West Virginia at the time when I recorded that with Rick Wachowski's Studio L studio there, and he's a member of Crack the Scott, and a very progressive band, and that was great. Great times recording. Love it.
Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next thing, which is your acting.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna show something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Let's see.
You expect us to believe that you knew the attackers, had $1 million life insurance policy on Vern's life, and this is just one big coincidence? How much did he pay you?
10,000.
When did he pay you?
The day after.
$10,000 for a man's life?
About time you got up. It's not bad enough to have to drive your ass to work every morning.
I don't have work today. I have class at 8.
Class? You got class? Right. Now. Get your ass ready for work, all right? I'm dropping you off early, and then I'm going to the track before it opens.
I called out.
Listen. Don't play games with me, bro.
Because I'll whoop your ass. Got it? Get your work clothes on. Now!
He came to me quite openly and frankly as a sick person trying to find mental equilibrium.
Man, my heart's pounding. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. I'm like, no. Yeah. And it's like, he goes, well, the two of you don't know anything about the fire. Why is there soot all over your face and both of you smell like smoke?
So remember 8th grade in Immaculate Conception with Sister Frog?
My God, we were so bad.
We were bad?
Don't let me go up to the blackboard.
Oh, yeah. Because God forbid you up at the blackboard trying to figure out this equation. If it took too long, bam, she hit you right in the fucking back of the head.
What did she yell out?
Who's got that clickety pencil? And she'd be like shaking her head like this. I'm going downstairs and getting the principal. And all of you are going to be expelled. And we're like, oh, we can only hope.
Rise like a morning sun. Shine like the brightest star. And don't disguise all the tears you cried. And don't bury me, brother.
Drives me insane.
Wow, Dario. Just the changes in character. So versatile. I love it.
And one of the accents there I really loved.
Oh, Klaus?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a German accent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
German art dealer for the Two Worlds of William Marsh. That was intense.
That was wonderful.
Yeah. It was different because first time I had to do an accent, you know. Again, when I was in England, I had a British accent, so that's not difficult to do. But you know, at that when I did that German character, it was the beginning of my acting, and you know, at that point, you're just trying to concentrate on your lines.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have to add the accent in.
Yeah.
So it was a little nerve-wracking, but I think it worked. The director was very happy. So
I loved it.
The entire reel.
Happy I'm good to go.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the reel was wonderfully put together, focused on you. I love the scene with you and the guy talking about your Catholic school teacher, and that was hysterical. So
that was
funny.
Danny Doherty. He's a really he's a really nice guy, and definitely like he was again, that was the beginning of the acting career, and he was so nice to come do that with me, because I actually I dabbled into starting to write something I wrote that was called The Two of Us, and it was about two guys from the Bronx, and I happened to call up Danny. I didn't even know how to find actors. I didn't know that many actors, and it was so funny because I did want to talk to them on the phone, and it was hilarious because a lot of people just wanted a text, but I couldn't get a feel, And so Danny had called me, and he lives in Yonkers. And when he started talking, we just talked over each other. And I said, "Oh, that's the guy," because we were both like two excited Bronx Yonkers guys. And I said, "Yeah, Dan, you want to do this?" He goes, "Yeah," and it was great. The chemistry ended up really being really cool with him.
Yeah, you can absolutely tell.
He's doing really well now, too, by the way. He's doing really good stuff.
That's awesome.
Now, did you go around the house practicing your accent?
For the German character?
Yes.
No, actually, you know what I did for that? Because, again, this is the first time someone told me to do an accent. I listened because he was an art dealer that was very much, because I think it's easier to do, like, typical, like a Nazi person, an angry German, right? I think angry and screaming is very easy to do, right? I think that's one of the things. Like if you act crazy, that's kind of. But this guy was a very sophisticated German art dealer, so there was a lot to him. And I remember, I think I just spent the weekend studying Christoph Waltz. I just watched him like being interviewed by Charlie Rose.
Yeah.
And, like and I didn't really want to say. I just wanted to see him talk. I didn't really want to see him do acting stuff. I just want to see, because I was being interviewed in the film. So I wanted to take that point of how we just talked when he wasn't an actor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I did that.
That was wonderful.
That was awesome.
Wonderful.
That was awesome. Thank you. Great job.
I don't know if you can see Lorenzo's comment.
Dario, hey Lorenzo.
He was on last week, so I had to cook.
Well, he was on 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talking about.
I never knew he was a cook, and I spent a lot of time with him in Holding.
But
cook.
I heard that he was a cook, but I thought that people were clowning around. I thought they were saying that he plays a cook.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we should call him a chef now. I think we have to call him a chef.
Yeah. I think it was Amy who said, he's the cook. And I said, what? So I thought that he was just playing the role of a cook.
I think he was shaping it up, and then they pulled him to do acting. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
If my memory serves me correctly. What does Helen say? Helen says, yes, it was awesome. Dario is also awesome. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
So, Dario, tell us what you have coming up next. Are you playing live? When can we come see you?
Okay, the playing live thing is, I don't really have that in the cards because it's really difficult. I did that for many years, but having an original band is just got tougher and tougher for me because I am the leader of the band. And as much as I loved it, we had lots of I did it for many, many years. Opened up for some wonderful people, great artists and bands. But at the end, it just became a little bit too difficult. I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but I think the COVID thing has to just settle even more.
Yeah.
And then we might do something. But there's a chance of that. But luckily for me, after the album came out, the video came out, and after a year and a half of not working, I got booked for 10 days on the Sex Lives of College Girls. I think I'm allowed to say that. And the HBO series.
Very nice.
So I just finished that. So, and then I'm going into the studio Friday. There were 2 other songs. Again, I couldn't stop writing. Even though the album came out, I was still in that mode. So I actually recorded 2 new singles, and it might be a third. So maybe I'll put it out as an EP, or it might be 3 individual singles that will probably come out by one's already ready to go. I don't know if I can drop one or I can drop all three at the same time. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up. I'm going to go back in. So it's a really wonderful place I'm in right now. So it seems like I'm either recording or writing or in the studio, and then it just so happens the acting thing came in. So so I got like the best of both worlds. I mean, I cannot complain. I'm a very fortunate man.
Yeah, I love that we can work close to home.
Oh, yes. I was doing Manhattan a lot for 5 years straight.
Yeah, you were posting.
This is a nice welcome change. Of course I'll still go down, but now that everything's level. But yeah, the Hudson Valley, I mean, it's great. All the stuff that's happening up here, all the studios and the wonderful creative people. It's wonderful. It's fantastic.
Hollywood of the Hudson Valley.
Love it. And great people to work with. That's the best thing. It's just Umbra Sound and everyone, the Woodstock Film Commission, Hudson Valley Cat, all these people up here, and most of them, right, we all became friends.
Sure.
Right.
It is like a really cool, close-knit family.
Yes.
It really is. I am so happy, and everyone is, and it's a really wonderful community. I mean, no joke. Everyone's really supportive of each other.
Yep.
And I am so thrilled about that. That is great news. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
It's the new Hollywood.
Yeah.
Great. With a better view, I think. We've got a lot of great views here. Though I never been to LA, but I think the Hudson Valley, scenic-wise, is a lot better.
Beautiful mountainous areas. Especially New Paltz is beautiful.
Love New Paltz.
I don't need any excuse to drive to New Paltz. Just go and have lunch. That's it.
Okay, we'll have to do it with us and a few other people. I think we're planning that before the coronavirus, right?
And it was like, oh, we can't do it. So then, yes, this summer we need to do it.
Absolutely. Okay, so now it's on tape. It's official.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We can't get out of this one.
We can't go back on it.
No, we can't.
Dario, you were such a pleasure. And let me just tell you, there are times when we have to prepare for interviews.
Okay.
We didn't have to prepare for this because we knew what we were going to talk about. We knew what you had going on.
All right.
It was just old stories and, reminiscing and introducing our audience to you, of course, because, they don't have the pleasure of knowing you until now. But it's great. It was so comfortable. I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't need that paper.
We don't need that paper. Yeah, we have plenty of things to talk about, I believe. So, yeah, we can continue this over lunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, guys, you can get Dario's music
anywhere
you buy Spotify, we said iTunes, CD Baby, wherever you can buy music. Dario and the Clear. Thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, I went on iTunes and so I had to look up Dario and the Clear.
Dario was very enjoyable to watch. Daryl says, "Oh wow, it was nice listening and getting to know you." Oh, that's really nice. We posted that one. Helen says that was awesome. That is really cool. And Helen posted another comment. She said, "Tweed Talk should do a song release premiere."
That was kind of it.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Because we had discussed doing a compilation of all of the musicians. We really would like to do something live, and do.
Well, that's in the work. I've been talking to some people, and there's a stage and everything.
People?
Yeah, I've been talking to some people where we could bring.
Thank you, Shanette.
Yes, live. Now we have the connection. So we had
apparently.
Yeah, we had a lot of musicians that came on. We could literally do an album of those musicians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
I like Dario. I remember when we met him was one of those ID.
Investigation ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when the first time that I met him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I was doing instead. I wasn't on that piece.
Was I filming?
You were filming. He was filming.
You were this is around the time when Pedro wasn't shooting yet. He was just carrying
No.
bag.
I was shooting. I wasn't shooting on that one.
He used to tag along with me,
yeah.
And they didn't even care. They would let him come into this is really what working BG is all about. Working background is when you could just come in and chill and in between takes, we were really just
I could have been on it because they kept asking me, but I was too busy writing.
You were too busy writing, and they're like, "Hey, do you have a suit?" I have a suit. Why did you have a suit in the car?
We just came back from church.
We shot at the T-shirt factory in Kingston, maybe, and they needed someone for a scene, and they were like, "Do you have a suit?" And he was like, "I have a suit in the car." Yeah. Why are you driving around with your church suit?
Because we just left church to go to that shoot.
And I had to shoot.
Yes.
Right, and you had your clothes were in the car.
Right.
Crazy.
That's great.
This is what happens. So you guys, while you are still on, Helen, I think Helen's involved with acting, right?
Yes. I think she was on one of, or maybe she.
So yeah, Helen, I think you are. And if you are interested in doing more acting, I get tons of castings. I have my notification set to always get the casting sort of at the top of my notification feed. So, and anyone who is on this thread who is interested in acting in the Hudson Valley, please let me know. I will put you in touch with the right people. I've been sending notices to a bunch of different people literally almost every day.
I believe I was in a movie with Ellen.
I think
one of
okay, cool. She said that would be awesome. One of Charles's films.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
yeah,
we will let you know who the guest is when we get closer to it next week.
Yeah.
Because I think we're having a whole cast again, like we did a cast of a movie. I'm not going to mention the name yet, but it's a movie that just came out on, what do you call it, Prime Video.
Okay.
And he was a guest before.
I don't even know who he's talking about. So I'm gonna be surprised too.
Yeah. And with that, we're gonna say goodbye. Yeah. Every guest we have is a good guest. I know.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a bad guest so we can make fun of him. No. Every guest we have is a good guest.
Helen, I'm gonna blow up your inbox because I have 6 castings that I sent to people. So I'm just gonna start blowing up your inbox. Whichever you're interested in, just submit. Okay. So glad I stayed up and watched. Well, Helen, we're gonna let you go now so you can go to sleep. Thank you all for joining us live on Tweed Talks. We will see you next Monday, July 5th.
Right, and I'm off, so I'll be resting.
July 5th. You're not off on July 5th.
Oh, I'm working on that?
Yes, you are, sweetie.
It's only 1 week you're giving me off?
Sorry.
No, okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.